Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into this really cool framework for personal growth called Core to Crowns. And the whole idea is to use a symbol we all know and understand, a tree, to help us map out our own inner world. It's super intuitive and, as you'll see, it's actually backed by some serious science.
And this idea is really at the heart of it all. Just like a seed, every single one of us has this incredible, infinite potential just waiting inside. The real question is, how do we create the right conditions for that potential to actually grow?
I mean, really think about that. What if you could actually see your whole life laid out? Your past, your roots, what makes you strong right now, and exactly where you want to go, all on one single, clear map. Well, that's pretty much what the Core to Crowns framework gives you, a guide to finally understanding yourself.
So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we're going to explore why using a tree as a metaphor is so powerful. Then, we'll break down the different parts of our inner tree. After that, we'll walk through a 5-step journey to see how it works in real life, check out the science that makes it all tick, and then finally, we'll bring it all back to you and your own journey. Sound good? Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, the tree inside you. So, why a tree? Well, it turns out this isn't just some nice poetic idea. Using a tree as a metaphor is an incredibly powerful psychological tool for getting to know ourselves on a much deeper level. And this isn't just fluffy stuff, there's real research to back this up. Studies have shown that when we start framing our life story as a tree, we get a much clearer picture of who we are. It actually helps us manage our emotions, to be more like a tree that bends in a storm but doesn't break. And it even strengthens our sense of connection, reminding us that we're all part of a much larger forest.
Now, this Core to Crowns framework was created by a coach named Hanni Mukhtar, and she built it on some really solid foundations. It pulls from the Tree of Life project, which uses stories to help people heal, and also from Adlerian Psychology, which is basically a school of thought that sees every one of us as a whole person, deeply interconnected with the people around us.
Okay, so that's the why, but how do we actually use this thing? In this next part, we're going to break down this big metaphor into a practical, hands-on map for exploring ourselves, starting right from our roots and reaching all the way up to the crown.
So here's how it works. Your roots? Well, that's everything that came before you. Your family history, your culture, all your past experiences. The trunk is you, right now. It's your skills, your values, the strengths that hold you steady. The branches are reaching for the future. Those are your hopes, your dreams, your big aspirations. And the fruits? That's your legacy. That's the impact you want to have on the world.
All right, so we've got the map. How do we actually start the journey? Well, the framework gives us a 5-step coaching model. To make this super clear, let's walk through it by following the story of someone who's thinking about making a huge career change.
The first step is to engage. This is all about getting real and building awareness of where you are right now. In our example, using a soil card as a prompt, the person has this insight. Their whole professional foundation feels unstable, kind of like trying to build on sandy soil. It seems like a simple metaphor, but it's the key that unlocks everything else.
Next up, we explore. We start digging a little deeper to find out what's really blocking growth. Prompted by a virus card, the person realizes the problem isn't just about career uncertainty. The real issue, the deep down fear, is about disappointing their family. And this is huge, right? It shows us that so often the problem we think we have isn't the real problem at all.
And that discovery leads right to the turning point, empower. Now, the focus totally shifts from the obstacles to the strengths. Using a sun card, which is all about energy and light, the person reconnects with their genuine passion for creative work. It's that aha moment that changes their whole perspective from one of fear to one of pure possibility. Now, insight is amazing, but action is where the magic really happens. The next step is experience. It's about taking that new awareness and turning it into a small real-world test. A wind card encourages them to commit to just one small low-risk action. Float one new idea past a mentor. See? This makes the huge, scary dreams suddenly feel totally doable.
And finally, the journey comes full circle with enlighten. This is where we connect our personal growth to a bigger purpose. By thinking about the fruits of their journey, they realize this career change isn't just about them. Their story could actually inspire other people to make a change too. Their personal journey becomes part of a much more meaningful legacy.
So, we've seen the metaphor, we've seen the model in action, but you might be wondering, why does this work so well? Well, the answer lies in the science. This entire framework is firmly planted in the rich soil of positive psychology.
This comes from the groundbreaking work of psychologist Sonja Lyubomirsky. Her research shows that our happiness, or well-being, is determined by three main things. About 50% of it is our genetic baseline, kind of just how we're wired. Only about 10% is our life circumstances, like our job or how much money we have. But, and this is the amazing part, a massive 40% comes from our intentional activities, the choices we make, the thoughts we have day in and day out. Just let that sink in. Nearly half of your well-being is directly in your hands.
So here's where it all connects. The Core to Crowns framework gives us practical tools to work on that entire pie. For our genetic set point, it helps us explore our roots and lean into our natural strengths. For that huge 40% chunk, it gives us a way to choose how we respond to life's storms and sunshine. And it even helps us with that last 10% by teaching us how to intentionally build a better support system around us.
Which brings us to our final and honestly our most important section. We've looked at the map, we've looked at the science, now let's talk about you. Let's talk about your season of growth.
So if there was one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Core to Crowns isn't just a bunch of nice ideas. It's a complete, integrated system. It takes these deep, complex psychological theories and translates them into a journey that is structured, but also flexible enough to be completely personal for you. It's a tool to help you navigate life.
And so, I want to leave you with this final thought, a question to really sit with. It's about your legacy, your purpose, and the seeds that you're planting in your life right now. What fruit will your future self harvest? And maybe, just as important, who will it feed? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.
Wanna hear